Hi, Mark. Here. It is Monday, July the 27th, going on 8 a.m. Eastern. US session about to get underway. And the overriding element of the day is the de-escalation in the Middle East conflict. Pause from both sides for now. Let's see how the market is reacting to that. Starting on the US dollar index, there you see strong US dollar to start today. Friday closed at 101.29, did gap lower to start the new trading week, 101.07, above that 101 level, tested a bit lower. So I've got support at 194, but for now, sitting at 101.18 is the current price, looking to test today's resistance. We'll see whether the demand for gold, for US dollars does continue and buyers remain on the front foot and look back up at the weekend's close at 101.29 or higher. If sellers do step in, they may look to push down from this resistance area, looking back below 101, looking down at the 194 support. Let's have a look at S&P. We're looking at the futures market for now, hour and a half till Wall Street opens up. And there you see the downtrend from last week, closed on Friday, the S&P at 7,443, a sizable gap up to start the new week at 7,511, and that's where we're sitting now. Doji candlestick. We'll wait now that the US session gets underway. Once Wall Street opens up, we'll see whether this downtrend does continue. If sellers step in, look back down at the support or lower, or whether we see some demand for equities and buyers look up at the 7,524 level. Let's have a look at gold. There you see again, doji-like candlestick closed last week at 4,052, opened to start the new week at 4,094, just under the 4,100 level. Tested that level earlier. You see the wickets left behind and creating resistance at 4,116. I've got support at 4,084. We'll see now that the US session is underway, we'll see whether there's demand for gold. If buyers get back to that 4,100 level and higher, or if sellers step in, look to maintain below the 4,100, looking down at that support. And if we see an inverse relationship, strong US dollar, weak gold, or vice versa. But those are our levels for now. Let's have a look at Brent oil. Certainly been the recipient of the de-escalation in the Middle East, and we'll see how that plays out today. There you see closed last week at 92.81, opened the new week at 87.42. That's with the pause from both sides for now. Red candlestick. We'll see whether this does continue. Positive news, good news, or at least potentially good news. Oil being a forward-looking market. We'll see sellers continue with what you see here and look to push lower through the day. Of course, can change at any time, and negative news out of the Middle East, be it physical or be it rhetoric, could well see prices again look up higher and look to get back above that 90 level. But so far down for now to start the new week based on the optimistic news coming out of the Middle East. And let's have a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin remaining in this really tight range, which we've seen. I've got support at 64.8 thousand. I've got resistance at 65.7 thousand. That's a really narrow, just over $1,000 range. We'll see whether Last week's brief rally can be continued if buyers look up to this resistance level. We'll try to get back up to the 67,000 or higher. You can see a series of higher lows and higher highs, notwithstanding the small red candlestick from today. So we'll see whether the demand continues for Bitcoin like we saw the end of last week, or if sellers do step in like we've seen over here, the red candlestick, if that gets extended and sellers look to get below this 65,000, maintain below 65, looking down at support at around the 63,000 level. Good trading, and I'll see you at the end of day.